Your Highness. Hey, Prince Ed. Must look like I'm slacking off with the old boulder here, but I was just getting back on my feet. The Fury Sisters don't often leave me be. Where'd they go, anyway? And, what are you doing here?
Oh, you know, just out on a little stroll is all. Do me a favor, though. You see the Fury Sisters, let them know I was headed down the way I came from, will you?
Oh, I'll let them know, all right. I hear you loud and clear, Your Highness. I'll just go about my business now, and you take care. You know, Prince Ed, I'd not expected to run into you again, not after all this time. Something amiss down in the house, or what? Not had much company of late, is all.
Well, something's just about always amiss back home, sir. Figured it couldn't hurt to check up on things in Tartarus a bit more frequently.
Well, I am grateful for it. I and the old boulder there, in turn. I'm used to going lengthy stretches on my own, but having visitors from time to time would do me well.
Hello, sir. Hey, sir. Thought this might ease your burden for a while.
Now hold a moment, Highness. I cannot accept something like this. Not without giving back a little something in return, that is.
Thanks for that, sir.
If I may be so bold, Your Highness, I was wondering, what brings you back around this way again? Same story as last time?
Look, I have to level with you, Sisyphus. I'm leaving the house. I've had quite enough. You understand, I'm sure. I'm going to the surface.
Oh, that is quite an undertaking, Prince. If it wasn't you yourself proposing it, I'd like to call it madness, truth be told. Though, you're just mad enough to pull it off. Well, hey, I hope you make it. Good fortune out there. Oh my, you're really giving that to me there, Prince? But I'm just... why would you...
You better believe it, sir. Now you take care. Be seeing you around.
Hey, Prince, how goes the old escape plan? Any luck?
You know, it's been all right, all things considered. Dying now and then, and it's been hard, but hey, what can you do?
Oh, well, keep your chin up. Me, why, I quit trying to get out of here a while back. But if I was a fire-stepping youngster like yourself, perhaps I would have stuck to it. Why, Prince, you being serious right now? Is that for me?
You deserve better, Sisyphus. This really isn't much, but maybe it'll help you while away the days, nights, whatever time it is.
Hey, Prince, I heard you showed that Fury sister the what for. Is that the truth? Might explain why I've been left here to my own devices for a change.
I don't think she'll be out of commission for very long. She'd best find you mining that boulder, though at least you managed to catch a break for now. Be seeing you, Sisyphus.
Wow, Your Highness, you really shouldn't have. Thank you for not forgetting about me.
You're always a sign for sore eyes out here, Sisyphus. Thank you for always believing in me.
Now you be careful out there, Highness. The kindly Megara is out for blood. She kept on groaning about the last exchange between the two of you. You must have showed her good.
I think I might have gotten lucky.
Prince, you've been gone for quite a while. Why, I heard tell you made it all the way outside. And I believed it for a while there. Yet here you are. What happened, might I ask?
I made it out of here indeed, sir. I always said that I was leaving, but turns out there was good reason for me to come back. Not the least of which is visiting my friends from time to time.
Well, I am certainly delighted to hear that, so long as you achieved what you set out to do. But what brings you back again this way? More than a social visit, I presume.
You're right. I'm back because I'm leaving once again. Something I have to do if I get up there. Though I should be back before long either way, I guess.
Going to try and make it out of here again and again, is it? Well, they say repetition is the key to mastery, Prince said. Now here, I'll send you on your way. I'm really very flattered, Highness. You didn't have to get me anything. I mean, your company's more than enough for me.
I figured you could do with something more than that this time around, good sir. Sisyphus, have you had run-ins with Tisiphone the Fury here before? She isn't much for conversation, I don't think.
Tisiphone? Why, yes, I have in fact, Prince said. She's visited on multiple occasions, truth be told. So she's back, is she?
She is, although I think she's back to deal with me. I'll have to keep her plenty busy just in case.
Appreciated, Prince. Of all the Fury sisters, she's the one I would least care to see. But if she does stop by, you know, that's how it goes. Oh, but this is just too much for me, Your Highness. Thank you, really. I don't know how I can ever repay you.
How about you keep on helping me not die as quickly as I might have otherwise? Deal? Sisyphus, how can you stand it being here like this? You always seem in such good spirits, though.
You push old Baldy here sufficient times and you might get a different outlook on things too. With the Furies all preoccupied and with my running into you from time to time, I'm positively doing great lately. I like to take what pleasures I can get. Look here, Baldy. Prince Zed himself has come to visit us.
Does Baldy really keep you company? Personally, I would resent a giant boulder that keeps tumbling back down a hill after I push it all the way up there.
Oh, Baldy's not so bad. I mean, he's a good listener, a good shoulder to lean on, doesn't wield a whip. I rightly can't complain. Good having company down here.
Hey, sir. I've always wondered, what were you like back when you were alive? Were you always this wise?
Might surprise you, Highness. I have a bit of royalty in me myself. Not on your level, mind, but I was very much a king. Though, I'll be honest, I wasn't much of a good man.
Huh. I thought I sensed the royalty in you. Although I can't imagine you as anything besides the gentleman I know you for, my friend.
Well, that is awful kind of you to say. Though I would like to think my punishment here wasn't without warrant. At least I've had a lot of time to think it through.
Sisyphus, you mind my asking what you did to warrant this particular arrangement you've got here? Pushing a boulder till the end of time and all? Never heard it in your own words.
Well, it's a bit of a long story, Prince. My time had come, though I just wasn't ready, you might say. Your father thought he had me in his clutches, but then, shoom, I gave him the slip. Your father's henchman, Thanatos, he'll back me up on that.
Outsmarted Thanatos, that's amazing. What happened then?
Turns out your father doesn't like us mortals cheating death. Eventually they found me, so now I'm stuck here with my boulder friend. I push old Baldy up the hill to the beat of the Fury's whips, then he tumbles down, and then we go again.
So then you're stuck forever. No reprieve. That's terrible. Wish there was something I could do to help.
You save those sympathies for someone else, Your Highness. I could be Prometheus, spending an eternity having my liver gobbled up. But instead, I get to stay in shape and have these chats with you. Now, I'd better get back to it.
So all this time, Prince, when you were battling up to the surface and all that, you were searching for her, weren't you? The Queen?
I was. Although, between us, sir, it's important that you keep that one a secret, please. Did you happen to meet her ever?
Well, just the one time, briefly, when your father decided to put me here. And you have my word, of course, about the surface stuff.
You know, I was just thinking, sir. Sometimes I am a little envious of you and Baldy there. You seem to have things pretty figured out. I still grow frustrated with myself quite often and don't always know whom to turn to.
Oh, well, I just think you're in a tough spot lately, Prince. But you'll get through. As for old Baldy, why, by all means, do not hesitate to lay your troubles on him if you like. Dumped all of mine on him a while back.
So I can just walk up and talk to him and chat? That's all it takes?
That's truly all it takes to make a friend sometimes, indeed, Highness. Now here.
Sisyphus, I know you tend to be in remarkably good spirits, all things considered, but there must be something I can do to help with your predicament, isn't there?
Oh, come now, Prince. Do Baldy and I look like we could use your charity? We're planning to stay put within this chamber for a while. It's hardly a predicament, I'd say.
But what of the Furies and their torments and all that? They might be back and make all this more difficult for you.
Ah yes, the Fury Sisters. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing them more infrequently now that you mention it. But either way, so don't you even worry about me. Now here.
Word is you caused quite the hubbub in Elysium, Prince said. Making the champion up there really work for it, I hear.
You could say that, I guess. Apparently word gets around. That Theseus, though, he doesn't care for me one bit, let me tell you.
I bet he'd like you better if you were a regular pushover. Ah well, he'll learn, I'm sure.
I have to thank you, Sisyphus. Not just for all the help you've given me time after time, but for encouraging me to have a chat with Boldy there. I dare say I feel a little more at peace of late, and maybe it's thanks to him.
He's a good one, all right, isn't he? Though if you've come to such an understanding with old Baldy there, why, it must mean you've done some growing on your own as well, I think.
Sisyphus, I've meant to ask, where are you getting all this stuff you give to me? You must be pretty well connected around here.
Oh well, you know, I have acquaintances amongst the locals here. Try to be neighbourly with everyone is all. It's not just Baldy and myself, as you can see. Sometimes I come across things that'd be better off in other hands than mine.
You know, Prince said, you really have a look about you that you know exactly where you're going as of late. I used to think you weren't near as comfortable in your own skin.
Well, you were right. I was never comfortable performing Father's routine Tartarus inspections. Though those responsibilities of mine didn't last long.
Nor did we have much opportunity to chat back then, but hey, you always struck me as a decent sort. Wasn't accustomed to your father's henchpeople greeting me with a smile. How goes it with old Master Thanatos of late, Prince said? Is he at least less stern with you than with the poor mortals he's sent to take in here?
Well, Thanatos is doing all right. Much like my father, I think he feels he has some sort of fearsome reputation to uphold. Or maybe he's perpetually stressed over his work. But he's been well lately.
That's good, I guess. Always appreciated that he ultimately took me in, rather than having to show up here through much more sudden, much more painful means. Didn't stop me from trying to avoid the trip, of course.
I have good news, sir. I located the contract binding you and bought it out. It's null and void. You're free to go.
Oh, indeed. Then does this mean, Prince, then the Fury Sisters, they won't come around as often anymore?
Not just that, Sisyphus. You can make your way someplace else where other decent shades reside. You know, somewhere with fewer chains and torture devices and such.
You're much too kind to this old soul, Prince said. The thing is, this is home. For me and Baldy, it is what it is. Though, knowing that the Furies won't be visiting with quite their former regularity, that is a load off. Heavier than Baldy there.
You mean you're really going to stay, even though you don't have to?
Is that so odd, Highness? Don't see myself lugging old Baldy out of here besides. And if I were to leave, why, we would not be having these exchanges now and then. I happen to enjoy them quite a bit. Now, here you go, and thank you very much. Certainly, Highness.
The underworld's power. Sisyphus, sir. You've helped me selflessly time after time without so much as asking anything in return. Wanted to say I'm very grateful and thought you might like to try this. Here for a special occasion.
Why, Prince, is this? It is. I've not so much as seen a bottle of it, much less sampled it. Thank you so much. Although, with all respect, I cannot rightfully accept such a fine gift. Unless...
Unless? Oh no, you're not making me take something in return. You know this was a gift, not an exchange, sir, right? Wait, what is that?
This, Highness, is a little friend of mine kept tucked away in Baldy's care. Wherever you'll be going next, he'll make a worthy travelling companion. And when he's with you, Baldy and I will be with you in spirit too.
Sir, this is a mint-condition shady you just gave to me. I'm so grateful. I will keep him safe.
Prince said, it seems you brought my little shady back to visit me. How very kind. And I can tell he's in good care of late.
He is, sir, and I'm grateful once again to have adopted him. You sure you don't want him back, though? Always seems like you could use a friend.
All due respect, Highness, but I've the best friend anyone can ask for to my right just there. And as for little Shady, He was more inclined than I to see the farthest reaches of the underworld. Safe travels to you both. Prince, that vintage ambrosia bottle that you gave me, that was the greatest thing I ever tried, I think. Even Baldy enjoyed the stuff.
I thought you'd like it, sir, and so I'm pleased to offer you another. Almost a shame we seldom get such imports from Olympus around here. I hope I can appreciate it for myself sometime, once all this is over with, I think.
What? You mean that you've never touched the stuff yourself? You've much more self-control than I have there. Perhaps someday we'll have a chance to share some between us.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So how do you like the surface, hey, Prince said, now that you've finally had a chance to see it for yourself? Not too bad, I hope.
It takes some getting used to, that's for sure. I'm not sure I'll ever grow completely accustomed to it. Do you miss it, sir?
Oh, you know, I still have almost everything that matters, and the rest, it makes for precious memories I didn't have up there. All this for someone such as me? You know I'm down here for a reason, don't you, Prince? Not just because your father and good Thanatos don't care for me. Yet, from the very first, you showed me decency I'd not experienced since I was a king. Perhaps not even then.
Whoever it was you used to be, sir, I believe you've changed. And I'm proud to say that you're my friend. And Baldy there as well. It's odd for me to say, but I am glad you're here. I think I've learned a lot from you about all this.
Well, Your Highness, I'm honored very much indeed. And having you amongst my list of friends makes it perhaps the greatest such a list a fellow such as I has ever had. Isn't that right, Baldy? Take it from me, Prince Ed. Baldy concurs.
You guys are great.
Ah, there you are, Prince. I was just thinking about how grateful I am that you got me out of that contract with your father. It's been a real weight off my shoulders, truth be told.
You never seemed particularly concerned even before, sir. Must say, you're very good at hiding your worries.
And I could say the same to you. Look, I know you were concerned for my well-being. Now you don't have to be. And I'll still be around to help you out. Good feeling, isn't it?
Sisyphus, sir, have you any idea how Shady works? I'm able to just whisk both you and Baldy out of here and to my aid? It must be awfully disorienting.
Well, Prince, I told you that we'd be with you in spirit, didn't I? It's not just Shady's power, I suppose, nor is it Baldy's or my hidden strength. It's testament to our companionship is all. You gods are capable of anything. Hey, Your Highness, anything the matter, or just passing through? Happy that we get to chat like this of late, of course.
Sisyphus, don't take this the wrong way, but why are you helping me? My father stuck you here for an eternity of torment, and even still you greet me with a smile time after time.
Come now, Prince Ed, that's just the way I am. Besides, you're not your father, thank the gods. You always seemed a decent lad to me. And if you're saying you want out of here, why, I suppose I can relate, is all.
I will have you know, Prince, that your visits here have become a very important part of my routine.
And what routine is that exactly, sir?
Why, the routine of looking forward, of course. I try to appreciate the moment as much as anybody, but, you know, it's always nice having something to look forward to. So, see you next time, then. Prince Ed.
Hey, sir.
Must say, Prince Ed, the free life sure does have its perks down here. This place really isn't as bad as it's cracked up to be.
Glad to hear it, sir. But you're still here, the same as ever. Is it really all that different from the way it always was?
Well, it used to be I'd have to start heaving Baldy there at any point if the Fury Sisters decided to show up. But now, I just get to relax, chat a bit with the other shades, and give you one of these when you're in the area. Hey, Prince, so you do know Baldy's just a plain old rock with a few lines chiseled into him resembling a face, don't you? Chiseled into it, I mean. Just so you don't get the wrong idea.
Come now, sir. We both know full well Baldy's much more than that. You really think I doubt the power of Baldy after everything we've been through?
No, it was just a jest there at Baldy's expense. Look at him. He gets so annoyed when I call him a plain old rock like that, but then he calls me an old lazy lump, and then we're even for a while. Hey, Your Highness, good old Baldy there had several things he wanted to tell you. Thank thank you for listening to him. With all that said, I think I've got something for you right here. Baldy, look who. You must have seen everything there is to see here in your father's underworld, haven't you, Prince? I figure that there isn't any place nicer than this.
Oh, well, I suppose now that you're free, you could always see for yourself. It's pretty different as soon as you reach Asphodel. Don't you have some place or somebody you'd like to see?
I'll take what's coming to me right here, thank you very much. You're the wayfaring sort, but my wayfaring days are over. It's hard to explain, but this is a much-needed fresh start for me.
Caught me on a break again.
I have to tell you, Sisyphus, sometimes I wish I knew more about your past. You must have been a great king.
Well, the thing is that I wasn't, Highness. And that's not modesty from me, all right? All behind me now, and I'd appreciate it if we left it at that.
I hear you, sir. Though whatever you did in your mortal days, you've since more than paid for it, I'm sure. Wait, is that why you're still here in Tartarus? Because you think you deserve this?
It's more like this is where I belong, where my path has taken me, you know? Here in the underworld, you can't entirely escape your past, and yet it's like you get another life to live, with all the wisdom that you picked up along the way.
Prince said, my understanding is the Queen herself is back. Is that correct? Moreover, I have heard a truly fascinating rumor about her.
That I'm her son? It's true, sir. And she's back with us for now, indeed. I think we're all still getting used to it, but it feels good having her in my life.
That's wonderful to hear. I'd always heard good things about that one. No wonder such a quality runs in the family. Hey, Prince said, I heard the strangest rumor. Here's the thing, I'll give it to you straight. I have heard you've been consorting both with Megara the Fury and with that old stiff Thanatos. Can you believe it?
Sisyphus, I don't know where you heard that, but it's true. They're just doing their jobs, and I know how it looks, but you're my friend as well, and I don't want you to forget that.
Look, I do appreciate the sentiment, Your Highness. I'm just surprised. I thought we shared a common foe in them is all. What can I say? I hope that someday I can see them how you see them.
Thank you for understanding, sir. Besides, maybe I can get them to cut you some slack.
Well.
Hey, sir.
Word is that the most beautiful music's been heard up in Asphodel lately, Prince. From the sound of it, why, I think that has got to be Eurydice and Orpheus.
You heard correctly, Sisyphus. Orpheus is reunited with his muse at last. Or at least he gets to visit on the regular when he isn't busy at my father's house. So you've heard of them, have you?
Oh, I've more than heard of them. I'm sure you know how Orpheus once ventured all the way down here after Eurydice passed on. I'll never forget his song. Even the Fury sisters gave me a break, they were so captivated by it then. Ah, good times. For me, at least.
You would be wise to heed my words next time, and fear the consequences of eluding me. Death can be most unpleasant, as I'm sure you know.
Well, that's just it, Master Thanatos. I never was terribly fearful of you gods, if you'll forgive my saying so. Far as I can tell, all of you seem to have your struggles much like mortals do. A fear of death aside.
What would you know of the struggles of gods? Now you have eternity to think on what you've done. Maybe I'll check again with you after another eon or two, see if you've learned anything more.
That's who I think it is.
Hello, sir.
Prince said, just missed your stern-faced colleague. Feel that stillness hanging in the air? Sounds like he won't be checking up on me again anytime soon.
Thanatos really isn't such a bad sort once you get to know him, sir. Though I suppose you'll have to take my word for that.
Oh, I believe it, Highness. I should think that bringing death must be a lonely job. Perhaps you ought to try pushing a boulder sometime.
Just one thing I don't understand, Prince said, if you'll indulge me for a moment here. If everything is all right for you at the house, then why is it you're fighting to the surface still?
Oh, you know, wouldn't want Father to get too comfortable thinking this place is foolproof. It has a terrifyingly ominous reputation to uphold. There is no escape.
Sure, that makes sense. Well, from a certain point of view, escape over and over to prove it can't be done. I like that. Well, let's both of us keep at it then.
good morning, or when...
Sisyphus, I have to be upfront with you. The Fury Megara and Thanatos. I know you're not exactly on the best of terms with either one of them, but they're both close to me. You won't hold it against me, sir, will you?
Look, Prince, it's not for me to judge you or your friends. The Fury Sisters, Master Thanatos, we got off on the wrong foot, you could say. My fault entirely. I'd sooner make sure that our correspondence here doesn't make those relationships more difficult.
Don't even say that, sir. I think Meg and Than know me better than that by now. Well, thanks for understanding, as always.
Certainly, Highness. And who knows? Perhaps as you spend more time together, some of your finer qualities will rub off on those two. Your Highness.
Hello, sir.
Don't let me keep you, Prince. I know you've plenty of important business here.
It's in, Boldy.
Hey, sir.
Not working yourself too hard of late, are you, Prince Zed? Remembering to take some breaks from time to time and all?
I think I'm managing, thanks, sir. Though, back when you pushed Boldy rather than talk to him, I suppose you didn't have much of a choice, did you?
Well, it was work, you know? Even your father has to work. Of course, I've since retired. But it seems you and he like to keep yourselves occupied. Whatever makes you feel content.
Well, if it isn't you... Hey, Prince, Boldy and I will not be needing these, but maybe they can help.
You ever meet Electo, Sisyphus? Fury Megara's nastier sister? We recently became acquainted, she and I.
Ah, fortunately I've not seen too much of her myself, Prince Zed. And based on everything that I've seen and heard, I'd like to keep it that way for a while. I hope she doesn't cause you too much trouble there.